So we're going to look at our first part, which is always on effective academic listening, right? And the first part is getting ready for the lecture. So we're not hearing it yet, but we're learning some vocabulary, some concepts, and ideas that we're going to hear in the lecture. You know, everyone sleeps, right? Uh-huh. But very few people understand sleep. Now, when I say everyone sleeps, is sleep a verb or a noun? Verb or noun? Everyone sleeps. That's a verb. I sleep, you sleep, we all sleep, everyone sleeps. Do you notice there's an S on this word? Sleeps? Do you say I sleeps?
No.
I sleep? No S. When do we use an S at the end? Third person, singular, he, she, and it. Now let me tell you, when we use the pronoun everyone, or the pronoun anyone, or the pronoun someone, or the pronoun no one, these four pronouns have singular verbs. All right? So you please remember that. Even though you think everyone means all people, if you use all people, that's plural. But if you say everyone, this is a pronoun, and the pronoun is singular. So watch out. Make sure you see, hear, pronounce the S on that. Everyone sleeps. Now, the next word, sleep, is it a noun or a verb? But very few people understand sleep. How about that sleep?
It's a noun.
That one is a noun. Do you see? Understand me, understand English, understand that language. That's a noun. So, do you see the word sleep can have two functions, one as a verb and one as a noun. All right? So sometimes you meet the word, but when you understand the grammar, then it makes sense to you, okay? So the first one is a verb, the second one is a noun. Everyone sleeps, but very few people understand sleep. It is important to learn about sleep. Why? Because your sleeping life affects your waking life. Do you know that? Your sleeping life, that means the time that you are in bed asleep, that affects, remember affects? That influences your waking life. That means if you are awake, the way you feel while you are awake is influenced, is affected by how well you sleep. You get the idea? So your sleeping life affects your waking life. And therefore, knowledge about sleep is especially important for college students. We are all here, college students, right? Don't you have many responsibilities?
Yes.
You have to study. Many of you have jobs. Many of you have family responsibilities also. So how can you put all of those things together and find time to sleep? Do you find that problem sometimes? Where do I have time? When do I have time to do all of those things? So it is important for college students to know about sleep because your job is to study, but you have other responsibilities too. Now, you know a survey, right? What is a survey? Survey. Do you know what it is when somebody does a survey? Suppose I'm a researcher and I want to take a survey. What does that mean? That means I ask many people to answer questions. All right. If I'm a scientist, I'll ask hundreds and thousands of people, and depending on my study, I may ask hundreds, or I may ask thousands, or some studies are very long and many hundreds of thousands of people answer, and they ask the questions. So in a survey, and this survey was done by a professor at Stanford. You know, that's my school, right? That's where I went to university. So professor of sleep psychology and also medical professor, his name is William Dement. He did a survey of the undergraduate students at that university. And he asked he wanted to know what problems students have. And there are many problems that students have. But what was their biggest complaint? What was their biggest complaint? Their number one complaint was not getting enough sleep. All right? That was their biggest complaint. Of all the things that they were complaining about, not enough this, not enough that, too much this, too much that, their number one complaint was not enough sleep. So that is huge. That's an important thing. In activity 1 called Getting Enough Sleep, it's a question. And let's discuss the meaning of these questions and responses together, and then I'll let you discuss. Now, for your homework, I hope you thought about your own sleeping habits. Did you do that?
Yeah.
Okay. And you were supposed to underline the best response to each question about yourself. So the survey is about yourself. But let's practice the questions, because when I ask you to work with a partner, it will be easier for your partner to understand you. Now, the first question, okay, I'm going to read without any intonation, and you tell me if this, how to correct it. Number 1 says, do you get more or less sleep than you need? Okay, let me ask you, what are the two things that we're making a choice of? More or less? And do you remember the intonation? Rising on the first one and falling on the second one. More or less? Okay, let's try it. More or less? Can you use your body to help you remember the way to do it? More or less? Now, let's put it together. Do you get more or less sleep than you need? Okay, now here are the answer. More than I need. Less than I need. Okay, let's look at the meaning of those things. Okay, let's say this is the amount of sleep you need. If you get more than that, you get less than that. So more than that means more hours. Less than that means a shorter number of hours. Got it? Okay, what's the third choice? Just the right amount. Just the right amount. Just the right amount. Just the right amount. And the fourth one is, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, the next question. All right, I'm going to say it without intonation. Do you think sleep loss is bad for you? Help me correct it. Okay, so what kind of question is this one? Yes, no question, right? What kind of intonation should we have at the end? Rising. Good. What is the key word here? Loss? Okay, and bad? Good. All right, now, I want to tell you not just loss, but sleep loss. Sleep loss. So let's consider these two words together as a compound noun and say it like this. Do you think sleep loss is bad for you? All right, do you know the word loss? What part of speech is loss? Loss? Is it a noun, verb, adjective, or adverb? Loss? Noun, verb, adjective, or adverb? Do you think sleep loss is bad for you? What part of speech is this? It's a noun. Right. Do you think apples are good for you? Do you think exercise is helpful? Do you think my videos are useful? Yes. Okay. So that's a noun, all right? Loss is a noun. What is the verb that's in the same family with loss? Lose. The word lose, right? The verb lose, the noun loss. And how about an adjective? Suppose you are driving to your friend's house, but then you don't know your way. You are lost. Lost. Okay, so don't get lost. Follow me. Don't get lost. Lost is an adjective. The verb is lose, L-O-S-E. The noun is loss, L-O-S-S. And the adjective is L-O-S-T, lost. L-O-S-T, lost, is also the past tense of lose. All right, lose, lost, lost. So it's the past tense, and it's a past participle of the verb lose. And you know the past participle of many verbs becomes an adjective. Okay, in this case, loss, no T. This one is a noun, and this is sleep loss. We can say weight loss. Weight loss is when you lose weight. Sleep loss is when you lose sleep. All right, so the question again is, do you think sleep loss is bad for you? And here are the examples of the options for your response. Yes, it's bad.
Yes, it's bad.
No, it isn't bad.
No, it isn't bad.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay, number 3 question. What is the main consequence for you of not getting enough sleep? Help me with the consequence. All right, so what are our key words here? Consequence. Consequence. How many syllables? Consequence. 3 syllables. Where's the stress? 1. Okay, so the syllable stress code is 3-1. 3 syllables stress, the first one. Consequence. Consequence means the result of doing something. So, and also stress the word not, the negative word. And also stress the word sleep. Is this a choice question, a yes-no question, or a WH question? Very good. WH questions have what? At the end, do we have rise-falling intonation, or do we have rising intonation? Tell me about the intonation. Rise-falling intonation. So go up on the keyword and fall down. So this is how it sounds. What is the main consequence for you of not getting enough sleep? All right, now, let's say the word sleep with a P at the end. I hear some people don't put the P, the lips together, so try it again. Sleep. Sleep. Very nice. All right, now, here's another thing. You see the comma between, the comma around for you. So I want you to do a little pause there and then look at your partner and say, for you. Not for me, not for everybody, but for you. This is personal. So what is the main consequence for you of not getting enough sleep? All right, good. Let's look at some possible options. I lose energy. Energy. You understand energy? Yes. Okay, what is energy? Power. Right. You lose energy. Okay, how many syllables are in the word energy? 3. Energy. 3. What's the syllable stress code? 3, 1. 3, 1. So energy, stressed on the first syllable, 3, 1. Energy. And do you see the word lose? Lose? That's a verb, right? That's a verb. L-O-S-E, we pronounce ooh, lose. Lose. I lose energy. The second option is I get cranky. I get cranky. Cranky. You get easily irritated. So somebody says something you don't like, you get really, you start biting at them, right? You get angry. You start complaining. You're not patient. You're impatient, and you just kind of like this. And then somebody says something to you. Maybe they are very happy when they just say something, and you, okay, get cranky. So that's the word cranky. Is that a new word for you? Yes. New word. Okay, you learn a new word. Do you ever get cranky?
No. Yes.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah. When I get really tired, I'm cranky. I get cranky. I don't have a lot of patience at that time, and I feel irritated more easily. Yeah. How about this one? I am less productive.
Yes. I am less productive.
How many syllables in the word productive?
3.
Productive has 3 syllables. Where's the stress? 2. Yes. Productive. Productive. 3, 2. Okay. So, the word productive is an adjective, and it comes from a verb. What's the verb in the same family? Produce. Produce. All right. What does it mean to produce? Produce. It means to make, to create, to make and create things. If you are less productive, that means you cannot do so many things. Maybe you have a list of things to do on my list. Today I need to do this and 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 this. But if you're less productive, you cannot get through your list of things to do. You don't feel like you produce, you complete everything as much as you want. And then maybe you have some other kind of feeling when you are not getting enough sleep. Now let's look at question number 4. Help me with the intonation and stress on this one. How much sleep do you average on weeknights? How much sleep do you average on weeknights? Help me with the stress and intonation, please. Okay, can you find the verb in this sentence? What is the verb in this sentence? Average. Now, I think you already know about average being a noun, and average is an adjective, and average is also a verb. So this word family has triplets. That means they all look alike, but they are not the same. All right, so if I tell you, if I say this sentence, my grade point average is 3.5. What is that? My grade point average, what is 3.5? What is the word? Is it a noun? Is it a verb? Or is it an adjective? It's a noun in that case. Okay, so look at your grade book and you can see your overall average is how many percent. Maybe you can see your overall average is 65%, it's 95%. That's your average. That's a noun. How about this? The average score on the last test was 80. The average score, that's an adjective, right? Okay, now how about we say, how much sleep do you average on weeknights? How much sleep do you average? It's a verb, right? So you can see the same spelling. You can hear the same pronunciation, but it's a different function in the sentence. You say, do you average, then you know it must be a verb. So how much sleep? Sleep is a key word. Average is a key word. What's another key word? Weeknights. Weeknights. Okay, so now we'll say the sentence with good stress and intonation. Oh, wait, let me ask you. What kind of question is it? Yes, no, or choice, or WH? Right. It's a WH question. All the words that begin with how are also in the same category as who, what, when, where, how, and all of those. Okay. So, how much sleep do you average on weeknights? How much sleep do you average on weeknights? Again, together. How much sleep do you average on weeknights? Okay, you know what it means then. You have to count up the one whole week from Sunday to Saturday, count all those hours and divide it by 7. So we have these options. Less than 5 hours. Less than 5 hours. 5 to 6 hours. 5 to 6 hours. 6 to 7 hours. 6 to 7 hours. 7 to 8 hours. 7 to 8 hours. 8 or more hours. 8 or more hours. And the next question, number 5, is similar. The only difference is, what's the only difference? Instead of weeknights, it's about weekends. Only 2 days, right? Like Saturday and Sunday. All right, weekends. So let's ask the question, how much sleep do you average on weekends? How much sleep do you average on weekends? All right, and the answers are the same. So now, would you please get together and let's see, how about 3 people in a group? All right, 3 people in a group and ask each other these questions. Go ahead.